All right. Well, good morning. My name's Shirley Banks. I'm from Decatur, and this is my third time on Paddle, Georgia. Each river that we've done has been so different, and I wish more people appreciated the diversity of waterways in Georgia. I think when I try to explain what Paddle Georgia is about and the things that I've seen on Paddle Georgia, people either get it or they don't. I don't know that this is a trip for everyone, but it's a trip for a lot of people that you can really have a blast with. This being my third one, I've gotten to know some of the individuals and some of the families, and it's such a pleasure to see them every year, get a little hug. Everybody's in a good mood pretty much the whole week, unless their kids are really wiped out or they're really wiped out. But it's such a beautiful opportunity to be with new people, to meet up with old friends. The scenery kind of puts me in a contemplative state of mind, especially this year because the paddling isn't very technical. It's not technical at all, really. And the scenery just goes on for miles and miles. And there is a huge biodiversity in this area, but you do have to be able to appreciate subtlety and appreciate very small things and very big things to be able to really get the most out of it, I think. And, on the other side, if you want to just spend a couple hours just connecting with somebody and having a good giggle fit, you can do that too, or talking politics or whatever it takes. And you can also see a lot of the human history that is always along rivers and waterways. My first year on Paddle Georgia was 2010 when we did the Broad and Savannah rivers, and I loved that route. That one I would like to do again. It had just enough, little rapids and riffles and things to make the paddling pretty interesting, and the geology and ecology changes so much along the route. Last year we had it was a very sinuous route, and there was lots of sandbars and very beautiful route again. This one, just the hugeness of the river, I had no idea. It's this incredible place that I guess a handful of paddlers and the people who live here know about, and pretty much nobody else does. That last mile yesterday coming into JC's Landing, there was a specific moment when the stink from the plant hit. And it was late afternoon, and it was so intense, within a few minutes it made me nauseated. And I thought I was going to throw up, but I didn't. I was able to hold on to my tummy. The woman I was paddling with got a headache, and she was able to prevent that. Oh, got a boat coming by, going too fast. Got a bit of headache, so we were concerned that other people might be getting sick. The thought of kids who just had a lot of sausage for breakfast, and children's senses are much more sensitive than adults. So we're like, oh boy, what if we have a bunch of kids throwing up in the canoes? Wouldn't that be grand? We can learn a lot by looking at images on the web and reading and talking to people, but I don't think there's anything that replaces coming out and seeing it and being in it. And knowing that I'm part of the problem too. I want to use these products that industries make. So there's a real dilemma there. I wish I knew the answer to that riddle. I don't think that shutting down industry is a realistic option for right now, but I do know that ultimately humans have got to get serious about reducing what we take. We need to be making fewer people, and we need to be taking less from the earth. And so this trip has really given me a lot of food for thought. I've been thinking a lot about the spiritual value of renunciation, and it sounds grim. It's not a popular word, but really it just means liberating yourself from stuff that you don't really need and letting go of stuff and being free of it. Can you be free of more stuff that you have to think about and put somewhere and protect and defend and earn and just all that striving? Can you just set some of that down? Can I set some of that down and walk away from it and not be involved in it? And the answer is yeah. From paddling and from backpacking, you really learn that you can live without a lot and be really quite happy. I mean, I know it's one thing to do it for a week and then go back to our luxurious lifestyles, but it is possible to make those commitments for the long haul, and it is possible to simplify our everyday lives and to just not take so much stuff into our homes and into our minds and into our spirits, because then we have to defend it. Then we have to think about it and put it somewhere and keep it clean and buy, once you buy the kayak, then you need to buy a roof rack and then you need to buy a paddle leash, and that, there's just no end to it. There's no end to the wanting. So it's a great opportunity to, if you're of a reflective kind of mind, to think about what we use, what we take, what we can stop using and stop taking, and where we can leave less of a trace. On the social and political level, I very much respect that people in rural areas and really anywhere need jobs and need the kind of money that Rayonier pours into the community, and I think there are probably a lot of good, I know that there are good people with very good motives working at Rayonier on the labor and on the management levels. There's got to be a way, one, to cut back our overall demand for this stuff, but also to clean up and do less damage than we're doing now. So I guess I'd say that my approach is more of a harm reduction, and looking toward the long view of eliminating harm is the ideal. Harm to ourselves, harm to our communities, our human communities, and the natural community. Eliminating that harm and totally alleviating that suffering is the ideal, and we get there incrementally.
All right. Thank you very much.